Badwan from the Horrors in the house, everybody. Good to have you with us. Now, a Blackburn Rovers fan, a well-celebrated Blackburn Rovers fan. No Blackburn players in this World Cup. So does that make you a staunch neutral then?
Yeah, I suppose I am, yeah. I'm a lifelong Blackburn fan.
Well, for that reason alone, to cheer you up, we've got you a present. Top trumps. That'd be useful when you're on tour, I guess, as well.
That's
World football stars, top trumps. So do you have a set or...?
I don't have a set yet, but well, I do now.
You do now, there you go. And cherish those always. Let's talk about last night's game first. Because the media, as we've discussed in the news section of the show, are focusing on the end of an era, the end of this Spanish era. What did you make of that all? Do you think people are getting a little bit carried away? Well,
I mean, no, because I think it's, you know, they're one of the best and most decorated teams of all time. You know, they play in the way that people like to watch. You know, they play exciting football, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of sad to, you know, to watch a team like that inevitably deteriorate. But I think it's, I don't know, I think it's, you know, like you said, I think Chile played really well. They've got a brilliant squad, and that should be celebrated as well. You know. What did you make of Xavi not starting? Was that sort of very representative that? Well, yeah. I mean, he's, you know, he really, you know, he really personifies the whole Spain thing, the whole thing they've become known for. You know, in the last 12 years, and you know, he's how old is he now? 35. You know, it's kind of natural. But I was surprised. I didn't expect it to be that, you know, that dramatic. That devastating, yeah. In terms of the contemporary teams, would Spain rank amongst your favourites, the Spain national team of the last 7 or 8 years? They're just really great to watch, and you know, they always have been. I think, you know, up until they won their first major tournament, it was always, they were always underachieving. So, you know, but they always played good attacking football. Speaking of good attacking football, being good to watch, England back in action tonight. It's quite strange, isn't it, going to a tournament where England are quite exciting to watch? Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think, you know, Roy Hodgson, he's always been, obviously used to manage Blackburn a long time ago. But I think it's... Do you look back at that era fondly? Or? Yeah, well, that was, I mean, you know, I started supporting Blackburn in probably 1993. So, you know, he was not long after that. But yeah, I always liked him. I think, you know, he's kind of, he looks a bit like my granddad as well, which is sort of helpful. But I think, you know, yeah, England, they're that's what, you know, people hasn't necessarily commented on. I think, you know, all the kind of trying to drag Rooney down or whatever. I think, you know, the main thing is England have actually been quite well organised and exciting, and I think, you know, that's kind of, we haven't even had that for so long, I think. Mentioned Rooney, and he came out this week, interestingly, took the choice to defend himself on Facebook, or rather have a pot back at the people criticising him. That's unusual in the sense that he seems to be rising to the bait. Can you sympathise a bit with how he played that? No, I think it's kind of, I mean, well, you know, I think the pressure on him is insane. I think it's, you know, it's quite unfair as well. But I don't think you should ever, you know, rise to it on social media. I think it's kind of, you don't get anything out of it. It's a lesson for us all on this show. Luis Suarez, of course, integral to Uruguay's chances, I think. Even if he does start, he's not going to be game fit. Is he match fit? I don't think so. But you know, the thing with him is he's such a brilliant player that, you know, he doesn't really have any weaknesses. Like he's one of the best players in the world, and you kind of have to rely on him being out of form to stop him, I think. You know, he's got such an array of tricks, and I think you know, you can kind of do anything. He can surprise you at any moment, even if he's not match fit. Faris, we'll look at tonight's games in a bit more detail now. This is where you get to play your 3 cards: an unsung hero, a breakout star, and head-to-head, which is a tactical battle that you like the look of. We'll do it in chronological order, so we'll start with Colombia, Ivory Coast, and this is where your unsung hero comes from. Yeah, I think Cuadrado, I think he's, you know, people who watch Serie A will know him from Fiorentina, but I don't know if he's quite, you know, he's not that world-renowned, I guess. But yeah, he's a brilliant player. Plays attacking left for Colombia, and yeah, I think he got 2 assists in the first game. Yeah, I think he's one of the most important players for Colombia.
out of these two teams, I guess they were both dark horses as far as the hipsters were concerned coming into the tournament, that maybe not capable of going on and winning it, but at least having a decent run. Do you see that?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely Colombia, you know, Peckerman was in charge of Argentina fairly recently, and they're pretty well organised. They've got Guarin for Inter. They've still got. I was looking at the squad. They've still got Mondragon on the bench, which is quite funny. He's been, you know, my first kind of the first World Cup where I really got into stats was France '98, and you know, he was probably one of the goalkeepers of the tournament. You know, at least for the first few games.
Still going strong.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't believe he's still playing. He's 42. But yeah, I think they. I kind of had Colombia down as, you know, they were really brilliant in qualifying, and they, you know, they could at least get to the quarterfinals, I think.
Next up, Uruguay, England. Wayne Rooney, Luis Suarez. We talked about a bit earlier. Suarez is the subject of your head-to-head battle against Gary Cahill.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we were talking about pressure on Rooney, and really, there's no one under as much pressure as Suarez. I think he's kind of victimised a little bit by the media. You know, they kind of make assumptions about his character, and I think that does kind of wind him up.
He deserves it a bit, doesn't he?
Well, yeah,
for his past transgressions, though.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's done some pretty unbelievable things, but I don't think he's a, you know, a bad guy underneath everything. I know he's a brilliant player.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Okay, how do you think Gary Cahill will handle him?
Well, I mean, when it comes to distribution, his passing is brilliant. You know, he's a real ball-playing defender. And I think if he doesn't stand off Suarez too much, I think, you know, if he stays quite tight, I think it's you know, he has a chance of keeping him quiet.
Well, I hope to see that. And the breakout star comes from this game as well. Raheem Sterling, hell of a player.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know, he's been showing flashes of the potential everyone talked about for so long in the last couple of years in the Premier League. You know, he was rested for the first half of this last season, but then when he came back, he started. You know, he was playing brilliantly again. So, you know, I think it wasn't that much of a surprise when he played so well against Italy. You know, he's probably one of England's best players. You know, and he's playing without fear. You know, and you saw that when Rooney first came onto the stage. He was the opposition were scared of him. You know, every time he got the ball, he just had complete confidence. Never thought, you know, no doubt. And I think that's kind of how Sterling is playing. I think, you know, also he has his hairstyle is a bit like a stegosaurus, which is you know,
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Just quickly, a line on Japan, Greece. You played all three cards, but I'm interested in your take on Kagawa, because there's speculation that he might not start in this game, and there are a lot of parallels there with his Man United teammate for now anyway, Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, I mean, he's really, you know, Kagawa's really important to the Japanese team. He's been one of their big players, but he hasn't really played regular club football in terms of, you know, really nailing down one position. He's kind of, I don't think he's had, you know, that good a go at Man United.
So he has been played out of position a lot.
Yeah, and he's been quiet, you know. But I think, you know, he was one of the best in the world really for Dortmund, and there's no reason why he couldn't. I think he maybe needs a better run to kind of get his form going. But yeah, he's quiet.
Yeah, okay, terrific stuff. Well, afraid we've got to go. That's all we have time for. But before we do that, let's take a look at some of our pundits' predictions for the England-Uruguay game. They've all gone for draws. Let's hope England can go one better. Here's the latest on our predictions league. I've finally overtaken Mary. Faris, Mary is a Brazilian school teacher who, by her own admission, knows nothing about football and has been beating me and many others. But I've taken her spot now. Barry Glendenning still on top of the table. Marek Larwood in second spot. Julien Laurent, one of the finest footballing brains in the world, rock bottom of our predictions table. Congratulations to you, Julien. Alrighty then, that's just about it for today's show. Many thanks to Faris, everybody. Hey, before you go, can I get a quick prediction on England and Uruguay?
I think 2-2.
2-2. That would do us okay, I think. Let us know your predictions in the comments below for that game. And don't forget to subscribe for more great World Cup content. Coming up tomorrow, comedian Andy Zaltzman back in the studio. Yeah. with his unique take on England-Uruguay. So for that and much, much more content, check it out right here. See you tomorrow.